Don't know about that. Okay. Mhm. Shall we start with the today's class?
Okay,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
We'll start today's class. So only two students are there, you and Surapati. I will start with the solids, right? You know what is a solid? A solid is a three-dimensional entity, isn't it? Right? Unlike the plane surfaces are two-dimensional entities, but solids are three-dimensional entities. So there are different kinds of solids like a prism or a pyramid or a cone or sphere, like that. Number of different kinds of solids are available. So it is a three-dimensional entity. Say for example, you are having a square. To the square, if you give some thickness, right, then that becomes a square prism, right? Square is there, base is a square, for example. To the square, you are giving some thickness. So if you give some thickness of say 50 mm or 30 mm or like that, then it becomes a square prism because base is a square, the top face is a square, and the lateral sides are rectangles here. That is one kind of solid. That is what we are calling as prisms. So prisms are base is one plane surface and the top surface is also the same plane surface. Say for example, base is a square prism. Square means top surface is also a square prism of same size, and the lateral sides, they are all rectangles in case of the prism. So if it is say pentagonal prism means base is a pentagon, top face is a pentagon, and lateral sides are the rectangles only. Similarly, you can have a hexagonal prism or say triangular prism, like that. Different kinds of prisms you can have. Another kind of solid we are having is called as a pyramid. So you know what is a pyramid. So there will be a base of some plane surface and there will be an apex. The top surface will not be there. Instead of at the top, so there will be an apex. So there will be lines joining the apex to the base corner. There will be lines joining apex to the base corner in case of the pyramid. So you can have square pyramid, you can have pentagonal pyramid, or you can have hexagonal pyramid, like that. Similarly, another kind of solid, we are calling it as a cone. A cone is a special kind of a pyramid wherein the bottom base is a circle and you are having an apex or a vertex. So vertex and the bottom base circumference will be joined there. So that is what a cone means. Similarly, they are having another solid called as a cylinder. A cylinder is again, it is a special kind of the prism wherein the bottom base is a circle, the top face is also a circle, and you are having the lateral sides. That is what a cylinder is. So there are other two special kinds of solids. One is called as a tetrahedron and another one is called as hexahedron. A tetrahedron is a special kind of a pyramid, that is a triangular pyramid. Special kind of a triangular pyramid wherein the bottom base is a triangle and there is an apex and the lateral sides are actually inclined one, slant. They are slanted. Slanted lateral sides are there. These lateral sides are a triangle again. If these triangles are of same size, all the triangles, if they are of same size, then such a solid, we are calling it as a tetrahedron. Tetra means, you know, it is four. Hydron means faces. So it is a four-faced solid wherein all the faces of the solid are of equal size, and again it is a triangle only, and it is equilateral triangle, right? So that is tetrahedron. Similarly, we are having another solid called as hexahedron. So hexahedron, it is again a special kind of a prism, square prism I can say. It is a special kind of a square prism wherein the bottom base is square, the top face is also square, and the lateral sides, they are also the square of same size. As you know, hexa means it is 6, hydron means faces. So a square, that is hexahedron, or another name for the hexahedron, I can call it as a cube. Cube is another name for the hexahedron. So hexahedron will have the six faces, and all the six faces are of equal size, right? It is of equal size. That's what hexahedron means. Now we'll go for drawing the projections, right? The projections of the solids. Now I'll take up the first problem. All of you can see the screen now. I'm presenting the solid edge screen. All of you can see this. Kiran Prakash. Kiran Prakash.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Are you able to see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Right. What I will do is now I'll draw the projections of the solid now. So this is a square prism of base side 30 mm and axis length 50 mm. It is resting with one of its edges of the base on HP, which is inclined to VPS 30 degree. So one edge of the base is on HP, and the same edge is inclined to VP by 30 degree. You have to draw the projections of the prism when the axis of the prism is inclined to HP by 45 degree. And additional question they asked is here, also determine the apparent inclination of the axis with VP. Apparent inclination of the axis with VP also you have to find here. Right? So this is a square prism problem. So we'll solve this square prism problem now. First I have to draw the XY line. Right? So for drawing the XY line, I will take the line tool now. Right? So I will take the line tool with 0.25 mm thickness. Right? 0.25 mm thickness. I will choose here and I will draw the XY line in the middle here. Right? XY line I'll draw in the middle of the sheet here. Then I have to mark X and Y. I'll take the line to the text tool here at the side. I can mark it as X here, and on the other side I can mark it as Y. Then I have to mark VP HP. So I will mark here VP. Idiga Sunil, why you are sharing your screen? Idiga Sunil, don't share your screen. Idiga, I am observing. Idiga Sunil. 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 Kiran, are you seeing my screen?
Yes, sir.
You are able to see my screen, no?
I have pinned that, sir.
Yes, what happened?
I have pinned your screen.
What screen?
Your screen.
Yeah, same solid edge screen you are seeing, no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, right. Sunil, are you there? Sunil, Idiga Sunil. You're not joined. Okay, don't present any screen. So you have to just see the screen because this is a recording. So I'm recording the whole class, and it will be made available in the Google Classroom later on for your reference also. So don't turn on your mic. Kiran Prakash, you can turn off your mic. Okay. Now we'll go for drawing the solution for this problem. As you can see here, it is a square prism of base side 30 mm and axis length 50 mm is resting with one of its base edges on the HP. From this you can note here, so it is an edge condition problem. It is an edge condition problem here.
Sir, question is not appearing, sir.
Question is not appearing.
Yes, sir.
Question is there, no? You can see the screen.
No, sir, screen is not appearing, sir.
Screen is not appearing.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
I will just share the screen once again. Just a minute. Yeah. Resume my presentation. So I am resuming my presentation. You can see my screen now.
Yes, sir.
Now it is visible.
Yes, sir.
The question also you can see. Square prism of
Yes.
yeah, you can see that
Yes,
question
sir.
now.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Now we'll go for drawing the solution for this problem. As I told, if you read the question there, it is a square prism and it is resting with one of its base edges on HP. It is resting with one of its base edges on HP. That means that it is similar to edge condition problem in case of your plane surfaces. Edge condition problem. Whenever the edge condition problem is there, you have to identify here how the solid is resting on HP. it is resting with one of its edges of the base on HP. That is means it is an edge condition problem. Whenever it is an edge condition problem, what you have to do is now you have to take the edge which is resting on HP onto the right side here. In case of the planes, what we are doing is we are taking that edge on the left side. But here you have to take it on the right side and it should be vertical. That edge should be vertical. So we have to draw the top view of the square prism. The top view of the square prism is a square only. So we'll draw the square now. I'll take the rectangle tool with thickness say 0.1 mm, right? Sorry, 1 mm, right? Then width is here 30 mm and height is also 30 mm. Angle you can give it as 0 degree, right? Angle you can give it as 0 degree. So this is how the prism looks in the top view when the whole bottom base of the prism is resting on HP and the axis vertical. You can see how the solid, that is top view of the solid, looks like. Now we'll go for drawing the that is front view. For drawing the front view, we have to draw the projectors upwards, that is to the VP, that is vertical plane, right? So we'll take the line tool here, thin line, we'll project it upwards here, right? I'll project all the points upwards here, right? I have to mark the axis also here. So in the top view, I will mark the axis here, right? Then from the axis point, I'll project it to the front view. I have to draw the axial line now. I'll change the line type to axial line. Then you can see axis height is 50 mm. So I will take 50 mm as the axis height, 90 degree vertical, like this I will draw. So this is the axis height. So these points I will mark. So this is A in the bracket A1, right? So this point is A in the bracket A1. So this is B in the bracket, say B1. So this point is C in the bracket C1, because the point C1 is not visible. They are all bottom base points. The bottom base points will not be visible. Only top face points are visible. So I am projecting it to the front view. Now I will draw the front view now, right? Front view. I can draw like this. Thick line only I will take. So this I have to take the height here. That is 50 mm, right? Then vertical 90 degree I can give. So this side I'll come. So that is 30 mm. Then 0 degree. I'll go down here, right? I'll join like this. So this is your the front view of the square prism. Initial front view of the square prism will be like this, right? So I'll mark the different points here. So this point is A dash in the bracket D dash, and this point is B dash in the bracket C dash. Similarly, the bottom base points also you can mark here, A1 dash in the bracket D1 dash, and this point is B1 dash in the bracket C1 dash. So these points I'll mark. Here it is O dash, and the bottom base point here O1 dash, right? O dash and O1 dash, all those points are marked here. So this is your initial set of views. In the initial set of views, what we have assumed is the solid is resting with its base on HP, whole of the base on HP, and the axis is vertical. When the axis is vertical, you can see that in the top view you are seeing it as a square, and in the front view it is seen as a rectangle like this, right? Now we'll go for drawing the second set of views. In the second set, we have to make the axis of the prism inclined at 45 degrees to HP. Here axis is vertical here to the XY line or to HP. So we have to move it here such that axis is inclined here. It should be inclined. For that, what I will do is I will copy the first front view, and I will rotate the first front view in the second front view such that axis is inclined to HP by 45 degree, right? For that, I will copy. I will hold down the control key now. I'll select these lines, different lines of the first front view. Even I will choose the axis also. I chosen the axis. I will use the move command, create copy on, right? I will move like this. I'll keep like this, That is, what I done is I made a copy of the first front view here. So now in the second front view, the axis is vertical here. I have to rotate the axis to 45 degree. So I cannot directly rotate the axis to 45 degree, keeping this point. So what in that case, what I will do is, instead of rotating the axis, I will rotate the base here, right? If the axis is inclined at 45 degrees to HP, the base also will be inclined to 90 minus 45. That is, 90 minus 45 is again 45. It is also inclined at 45 degree. So for that, I will use the rotate command here. As I told, instead of rotating the axis, I am rotating the base here. The base is rotated to an inclination of 45 degree here, and you should not have that rotate copy. Rotate copy, you can turn off here. So you can see in this position, right, the solid is rotated such that the axis is inclined to HP by 45 degree. I can just move this nearer to the first front view so that I will have more space for drawing the third set of views. I will use the move command here, create copy of. So this XY line, whatever this point is there, I'll slightly move this side so that I will have more space for drawing the third set of views like this. Now I will draw the vertical projectors downwards. I will take the XY, that is thin line here. I will draw the projectors downward here, right? Like this. From various points, I will draw the vertical projectors downwards. Like this. I will draw the vertical projectors downwards. Even from the axis endpoints also, I have to draw the vertical projectors downwards. Axis endpoint also, I will draw the vertical projector. Now from the first top view, I will draw the horizontal projector. Horizontal projectors will be drawn from the first top view like this, right? From the first top view, I will be drawing the horizontal projector. Even from the axis also, I will draw the horizontal projector. Extra lines I can trim off here. Wherever the extra lines are there, those extra lines I will trim off. So I'm just saving, all right? Automatically it will ask for saving, otherwise I have to save at regular intervals. No, it will ask for saving. The extra lines I trimmed off. What I will do now is I will mark the various points here. So this point is A1 dash in the bracket D1 dash, and this point is B1 dash in the bracket C1 dash, and here it is A dash in the bracket D dash, and this point is B dash in the bracket C dash, and here it is the point O dash, and the bottom base is O1 dash here. The front view points I have marked. Now I have to get the second top view also. So those points I have to mark in the second top view. You can see here projector line drawn from A1 dash and A1. So this is the point A1. Projector line drawn from B1 and B1 dash. So this is the point B1. Similarly, here is the point C1 and this is the point D1. And here projector line drawn from A dash and A. So this is the point A. So this point is B and this point is C and this is the point D. I have marked various points. After marking the various points, what you have to do is you have to join the outer edges with a thick line. All outer edges you can join with a thick line. Take the thick line, you join the outer edges. That is A1 to B1 here, B1 to A here, A to B. All these lines you can join them with a thick line. Then A to C to D, D to C1, and C1 to D1, right? And so D1 to A1 back. All these outer edges you can join with a thick line. I'll just zoom this area so that it will be clear for you, right? What I done is outer edges I joined with a thick line. Now I have to mark the top surface and bottom surface. When you look from the top here, the top surface is nearer to the observer and the bottom surface is away from the observer. This means that the bottom surface is hidden and the top surface is visible. So all the top surfaces, the corners of the top surfaces, I have to join them with a thick line. That is why I am joining here with a thick line. So I have to get this endpoint marker here. So I'll just zoom that. I have to get that point properly, right? So this is the point D. No, I should not get What do I? It is not marking. So I have not taken the point properly. Yeah, I have to take from the end point here to the end point here. All right. So this is a thick line. You can see that. Right. What I have done is, so the visible edges I marked as thick. Here in the bottom surface, so A1 D1 already it is thick. A1 B1 already it is thick. So C1 D1 already it is thick. Only the left out is B1 C1, that I have to mark it as a hidden line. For that, what I will do is I will just delete this B1 C1 line what I have drawn, and I will draw a hidden line there. Right. Just wait, it is saving now. Yeah, I'm just trimming these lines here, and I will draw a hidden line now. I will take the hidden line here, then thickness as 0.5 mm. I'll join from here. Endpoint marker is there, no, B1 to C1 here as a hidden line. So this is hidden line. Here I have to mark the axis also. For that also I will do the same thing. I will delete these lines so that it will be clear, right? I deleted those lines. So this is the point O1 dash here, O dash, sorry, O1 and O. So this line I have to mark it as an axial line. I will mark it as an axial line. So this becomes an axial line here. You can see, right? Then I will mark this point as the point O1, and this is the point O, right? O and O1 I have marked. So this is your axial line, right? This is how the solid looks like in the top view, that is second top view. A1 B1 C1 D1, it is a bottom base. The bottom base should be hidden, but already we have marked these as outer edges. Outer edges cannot be hidden, only the edge B1 C1 will be hidden. Here all, here the ABCD, the top surface, so all the edge corners of the top surface will be visible. That is why we have joined them with a thick line, right? So this is how we are drawing the second top view. So second top view has been drawn. Now we'll go for reading the problem statement again. So in the problem statement, they have mentioned that the edge which is resting on HP, right? One of the rests on HP on one of its edges. That particular edge is inclined to VP by 30 degree. That particular edge is inclined to VP by 30 degree. That is why we have to make the resting edge. So resting edge here is, so B1 C1, right? So B1 C1, we have to make it inclined, right? Sunil, why you are again presenting, man? Right? Don't present. Right? Otherwise others cannot see the screen. Right? All these things are recorded. You can see what I am telling you. I am referring your name. Everything will be recorded. So behave properly. Idiga Sunil. Right? Don't click on present now. That button. Okay? All others can see the screen now. Pratyusha?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You can see the screen now? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Now, what we will do is, we will go for drawing the third set of views. In the third set, as I told, so this edge B1 C1. So edge B1 C1, I have to make it inclined to VP by 30 degree. So for that, I will go for drawing a 30 degree line here. Thin line only I will take. I am rotating like this. So I will draw a 30 degree line from somewhere from here, say. Right? So inclination I have to give it as 30 degree. That means 180 plus 30, it is 210 degree. So that 210 degree, I will draw a line here. It should be a thin line and continuous line. I'll change the line type now. So whatever this second top view is there, now I have to rotate to that 30 degree line, keeping B1 C1 on this 30 degree line. I will just copy this second top view. I will use the move command, create copy. I will make it on. So this point C1, I have to keep it on this 30 degree line. I will keep it on this 30 degree line. Right? Now I will rotate. I will go for rotating now. Rotate. So this B1 C1, I have to take as the reference. It is rotated such that it will coincide with this 30 degree line. It is coinciding with 30 degree. But here you can see some portion of the top view is going above XY line. It should not happen. For that, what I will do is, I will select whole this second top view, sorry, third top view, whole of the third top view. I will select here, including this 30-degree line. I will just move it downwards. I will move it downwards like this, right? While drawing it in the sketchbook, you should be very careful, right? So this is 30-degree line. I will just show the angle here. I'll go to angle between and I will mark this angle as 30 degree. Here also, for the axis also, I have to mark the angle here. So this inclination is 45 degree. I can show that inclination as 45 degree. So I rotated all these points, but these points A, B, C, D and all, it is not visible properly, isn't it? So it is rotated. For that, what we'll do is, I'll go for zooming this area, right? I'll zoom this area. So those points, whatever I mark, I'll just delete them, right? I'll delete this point and I'll mark it once again. Otherwise, it will not look nice, isn't it? Right? What I'm doing is, I'm just deleting those points here, right? Then I will mark them once again, right? So this point D also, I'll delete it. Now I'll mark it once again. I know that this is the point A. I'll mark it A as A. This is B. This point is C. This point is D. Here it is the point A1. This point is B1. And this point is C1. And this point is D1 here. And the point O and O1 also, I'll delete here, right? And I will mark it once again, because that will not look nice, right? Rotated. So I'll mark it as this point is O and this point is O1. All the final top view points are visible now. Yes, Kurupati, you have turned on your mic. Turn off your mic. Yes. Now we'll go for drawing the final front view. So for drawing the final front view, what we have to do is, we have to project all points from the final top view to the front view. And for that, I will take the line tool, thin line only, continuous line. I will draw the projector from A like this. I will draw the projectors here, right? From A, then from B. B is here only, no? Yeah, sorry, we have to move upwards, right? This line also, we have to move upwards. So we will draw the vertical projectors from A, B, C, D, etc. like this. A, B, then C, then D, right? Then A1 here, then B1 is up to XY line only, then C1 is here up to XY line only, then D1 I can mark it up to say same height like this. Then I will draw the horizontal projector here with a line drawn from A1 and A. So this is A1, sorry, A dash, and this is A. So the point A comes here. Then projector line drawn from B dash and B. B is here, no? So it is up to here. Then projector line drawn from C dash and C. It is up to here, right? Projector line drawn from D dash and here it is D. I can mark up to here. Extra lines I can trim off them, right? The top surface extra lines I'll just trim off here, right? So the points I have marked here, A, B, C, D, we have marked here. Similarly, from A1, I'll draw the horizontal line here. So this is, I will join full up to here like this, right? So that it will be clear, right? So I'll mark the points now. Projector line drawn from A1 and A1 dash. So this point is A1 dash. And projector line drawn from B1 and B1 dash. Here is the point B1 dash, right? Projector line drawn from C1 and C1 dash. So this is the point C1 dash. Projector line drawn from D1 is here and D1 dash. So this is the point D1 dash. Extra line I can trim off here. So this is extra. I'll trim off this. So this is also not required. I'll trim off. Right. So this is from B1 I drawn here, no? From A, B, C, D I drawn. So this B, again it is extra here. I will trim this. Right. The top surface points I will mark here. Projector line drawn from A and A dash. So this is the point A dash. B and B dash. Here is the point B dash, and C and C dash. So this is the point C dash, and D and D dash. So this is the point C dash. Now what we'll do is outer edges we join with a thick line, right? We'll take all the outer edges. So A1 dash to A dash is an outer edge. I'll join with a thick line. A dash to D dash is an outer edge. I'll join with a thick line. D dash to C dash, C dash to C1 dash, C1 dash to B1 dash, and B1 dash to A1 dash. I will join with a thick line. All outer edges of the solid, initially we have to join with a thick line. Now we have to look at the solid, that is final top view from the bottom. When you look at the final top view from the bottom, ABCD is nearer to the observer, A1, B1, C1 is away from the observer. So when you look from here, when you are standing from here, right, if you look at the solid, ABCD are nearer to you, A1, B1, C1 are away from you, meaning that ABCD is visible in the front view. ABCD is visible in the front view. That is why in the front view, you have to mark A dash to B dash, B dash to C dash, and C dash to D dash with a thick line. Even this B dash to B1 dash also will be a thick line. So this is how we are marking the thick line. Then bottom base, as I told A1, B1, C1, D1 is away from the observer. So it should be a hidden line. All lines joining with A1, B1, C1, D1 should be a hidden line. But outer edges already we have joined as thick line. Only the remaining lines we can mark as the hidden line. We'll mark as the hidden line here. Right? What I have to do that? A1 dash to, so I'll join here, A1 dash to D1 dash. So this I have to mark as a hidden line, and D1 dash to C1 dash I have to mark as hidden line. Then D1 dash to D dash also will be hidden line. So this also will be hidden line. Now we can visualize the solid, how the this prism looks like in the front view. So axis we have not marked now. Now we have to mark the axis also. So I will project the point O1 up to O dash here. So we have to draw a horizontal line here. Right? I can just zoom this area so that I can clearly get that point. Right? I can draw the vertical line here. Then I have to draw the horizontal line from O1 dash, where these two meet. That is the point O1 dash. Similarly, I have to get the point O dash in the front view. For that, I'll drop a vertical line downwards, upwards from the point O dash here. Then I will draw a horizontal line from O1 dash where they will meet. That is your point O dash. So this point is now O dash. I will mark it as O dash, and this point is O1 dash. And O1 dash to O dash, we have to join a actual line now. I'll zoom that area so that I will get clearly. So this vertical line I have not drawn properly. So this angle should be 90 degree, right? Then it will come correctly. Is it coming? Yes, 90 degree it is. Here, that it is 90 degree. Yes, from O1 dash, whatever I have drawn, if it is not visible, again zoom that, right? So this inclination of this, again it should be 90 degree, right? So then it will be vertical, perfectly vertical, right? So it is not moving from here. So I will draw a vertical line again from here, right? I have to draw the vertical line properly here, right? Like this, right? So this is 90 degree perfectly. So these extra lines I can trim off now. So these extra lines I trim off. So this is the point O1 dash. So I'll again zoom this area so that it will be clear for you. And O dash is trim this one. So here you trim, here also you trim. So this end point is O1 dash. Now take the line tool, take the axis line, join O dash. O dash is this one to O1 dash, this end point as an actual line. So this completes the solution. Only the dimensioning is left out. We now will do the dimensioning of the side of the base of the prism as well as the axis length of the prism inclinations already we have shown. We have to now trim off the extra lines here. This extra line I will trim off. So this is the solution from the problem. So square prism of base side 30 mm and axis length 50 mm rests on HP on one of its edges of the base. That base edge is again inclined to VP by 30 degree and the axis of the solid is inclined to HP by 45 degree. So this is how we are finding the solution, that is projection of the solid. They have mentioned that here determine the apparent inclination of the axis with VP. Here whether the apparent inclination of the axis with VP is required, no need of finding the beta angle, but they asked me what is the inclination of the axis with VP. So this inclination I have to find now. That is what they asked here. So for that I'll zoom this area. I have to find out the inclination of the axis with VP, isn't it? With VP or with HP? Yeah, with VP they asked. What is the apparent inclination of the axis with VP, not HP, right? With VP means, so this inclination I have to find out. I will go for finding the inclination of the axis with XY line here. So this I have to select here. This is the axis with XY line. So XY line is this one, right? So here axis line, angle between, yeah, angle between. So this and this. Why it is not coming? I'll just zoom that area. Yeah, right, angle between, right, angle between this axis with XY line. I have to find that inclination. That is the apparent inclination of the axis with VP. So it is shown as 60 degree. So that 60 degree I have to write here. So I can take the text tool now. I'll click here. So beta angle I have to find now. So that is what the beta angle is. So I'll change the symbol font here. I'll type B now. When I type B, I'll get beta, then 60. I'm typing. Now I have to insert the degree symbol. For inserting the degree symbol, go to the character map. In the character map, you choose the symbol font. Degree symbol is there. You select, click on copy, then close. Go to this 60 degree wherever you type. In front of that, you press Ctrl V for pasting. Some other characters will be coming. So other characters you can delete. Only you can leave that degree symbol. All other characters I'm just deleting. So degree is coming there. So degree symbol I'm having it. So I can minimize this, make it smaller so that it is clearly visible. What is the value of beta? You have to find out. I found here that value I written here. That is what the last bit of the problem. You have to determine the apparent inclination of the axis with VP. So this is the apparent inclination of the axis with VP. That is 60 degree here. We have measured the inclination of the axis with VP. Is it clear? Yes. Anyone?
Yes, sir.
Is it no doubts now? So this is your problem number, first problem, right? That is problem number 1, right? So I'll say this problem as, I'll rename this sheet as sheet S1. S1 means solid, S means solid, 1 means 1, right? So I will rename like that, right? So this is your sheet 1. Understood? Any doubts you can ask in the solution. Now what I will do is, similar problem I will take from the pyramid, right? I'm having different other problems here. I'll just delete this, not required. Okay, there are other problems. Say for example, if you take this problem, it is similar to the previous problem, only the difference is here, it is a corner condition problem. Instead of the edge condition, it is resting with one of the corner on HP and axis is inclined to HP by 40 degree and appears to be inclined to VP by 45 degree. That means that here it is similar to the previous problem, but the difference is initial position is different. So here in the previous problem, we have taken the initial position as the edge condition problem. Here we have to take it as the corner condition problem. On the right side, we should have a corner here, right? For the second problem, we should have a corner. Shall we go for solving this problem, or Shall I take up the problem on pyramid? Yes, I'll solve this problem, right? So because it is a bit different kind as compared to the previous problem, I'll solve this problem only. So what I will do is I'll copy the XY line, right? XY line, I'm copying here, right? Edit, go to copy, go to the second sheet and press Ctrl V here. So XY line has been copied now. Whatever the XY line I drawn in the previous problem, it is copied. Now I have to go for drawing the square prism of 30 mm base side. I'll take this square, that is width is 30 mm, height is 30 mm, angle you have to give it as 45 degree. You have to give the angle as 45. You can see now it becomes a corner condition problem. It becomes a corner condition problem. So this line type I have to change now. Line type should be thick line and continuous line, right? Now I drawn a corner condition problem because the solid is resting with a corner on HP. All these points I will mark now. So this point is A in the bracket A1. This point, sorry, here I have to change the font now. The font should be Times New Roman font. I have to choose A in the bracket A1, right? And this point is B in the bracket B1. Like this. Here it is C in the bracket C1, and this point is D in the bracket D1. I have to even mark the axis also. For marking the axis, I will take the thin line, I will join these corner diagonals of the prism. I will join here. Thin line should be right. I am joining the diagonal where those two diagonals meet. So that is your axis point. So this is axis O in the bracket O1. Right. So top view is completed. Now I have to get the front view. For getting the front view, I'll choose the thin line. I'll project all these points to the front view here. Right. To the XY line. I'm projecting it here up to XY line. So the point O1 dash you got here. From O1 dash, you have to raise the axis height. Axis height is 50 mm and 90 degree you can give here. So this is the axis height, right? Then from here also I'll draw the axis height from the other corners also, right? So it is 50 mm, then 90 degree. Then I'll go along this one, right? So whatever the length I'll take up to here, then I'll take from here, that is 50 mm, 90 degree, I'll join up to here. Then here also I join from here to here and here to here. And this line here, it will be a thick line, because in the when you look from the front here, the edge BB1 is visible. Here edge BB1 is visible. So this is B1 dash and this is B. So this is visible. Axis will be hidden behind that. So no need to mark the axis point there. Right. Now I'll go for marking these points. So this is A1 dash. And this point is B1 dash in the bracket D1 dash, and here is the point C1 dash. In the top surface, it is A dash. This point is B dash in the bracket D dash, and this point is C dash. And on the same here, the point O1 dash, O dash will be there here, and at the bottom you will have O1 dash, right? So this is how we are marking the first set of views, wherein the square prism is resting with one of its corner of the base on HP. One of the corner of the base, we are taking it to the right side here. Understood? Now we'll go for drawing the second set of views. In the second set, we have to take the inclination of the axis of the solid with HP. So here they have mentioned that axis of the prism is inclined to HP at 40 degree. So I have to make a copy of this here. So I have to make a copy of this here. So what I will do is I will select here. I will select the whole first front view. I will hold down the control key and I will click here these various lines. This one, this line, and this line, The bottom lines also I will select them, right? I have selected all those lines. If it is not visible properly, always you can zoom, right? I'll zoom that so that I'll have the better control. So I can copy this now. I will use the move command now, create copy on. So this point C1 dash should lie on XY line. I will move it like this, right? Now I have to rotate. I have to rotate the solid such that this is the axis. Axis is inclined to HP by 40 degree. So if I want to rotate axis to be inclined to HP by 40 degree, the base, this base I have to rotate it by 90 minus 40 degree, that is 50 degree. So I will go for rotating now. Rotate. So this particular edge I will select because I cannot directly rotate the axis here. I am rotating the base here. When you are rotating the base, inclination of the rotation should be 90 minus the inclination of the axis. 90 minus the inclination of the axis, you have to choose here. So I have to choose the inclination as here 90 minus 40 degree means here it is 50 degree I am giving here. So 50 degree I am giving, I am rotating. So the space may not be sufficient as we have done in the previous problem. I will use the move command here, create copy of. So this point I'll slightly move this side so that it is nearer to the first front view, right? So this is your second front view. In the second front view, I have to mark these points here. So this is A dash, this point is B dash in the bracket D dash, and this point is C dash. Similarly, here in the bottom base, it is C1 dash, this point is A1 dash, and this point is B1 dash in the bracket D1 dash, and this point is O dash, and this point you can mark it as O1 dash. So all those points we have marked. Now we'll go for drawing the projections downwards. I will take a thin line, right? I will draw the projector from A1 dash like that from various points of the second front view. I am drawing the projectors downwards here like this. Similarly, from the top surface, I am drawing the vertical projectors here like this downwards, right? From all the different points I draw. Then from here, that is from the first top view, I have to draw the horizontal projectors now. I will draw the horizontal projectors here like this. Now I have to mark the various points, right? Projector line drawn from A1 dash and A1, I can mark the point here as A1. So this is the point A1. Similarly, projector line drawn from B1 and B1 dash. So this is the point B1. And this point is C1. And this point is D1. Here also same thing. Projector line drawn from A. Here it is A. This point is B. This is the point C. And this point is D. Right? So here the point O1 word comes. Here the point O1 comes. Right? Like this, we can mark the various points. Now extra lines I will trim off. Whatever the extra lines are there, all those extra lines I trimmed off. Now what you have to do is you have to join the outer edges with a thick line. Take the line tool. These are all the outer edges. A1 to B1 is an outer edge. B1 to B is an outer edge. B to C is an outer edge. C to D is an outer edge here. Right? D to D1 is an outer edge. And D1 to A1 back is an outer edge. All outer edges you can join with a thick line. Right? I join them with a thick line. These extra lines are not required. I can delete them. So outer edges are now have been joined with a thick line. Now look at the second front view from the top. From the top you look at here. So the ABCD, the points ABCD, they are all visible here. That means they are nearer to the observer. So in the top view it will be visible. So join them with thick line now. That is A to B, you have to join with a thick line. B to C already it is there. Then A to D also you have to join with thick line. Then this A to A1 also will be a thick line. Right? So this is how we are marking the visible edges. Then the bottom base will not be visible as we have seen in the previous example also. So bottom base should be hidden. Already we have marked A1, B1 as thick. then A1 D1 has six, remaining two lines, that is B1 to C1 and C1 to D1, are to mark it as hidden line. So B1 to C1 I'll join as a hidden line, then C1 to D1 I have to join as a hidden line here. Alright, hidden lines we have marked. Here C1 to C is also a hidden line. For that, what I will do is I will just trim these lines, and from C1 to C I have to join a hidden line now. So C1 is this one now, C1 to C, it is a hidden line. I have marked it. So the point O and O1 actually you have to join with a action line, but already we have drawn a hidden line there. So over the hidden line, if you draw the action line will not be visible. So no need to draw that action line now. Now we'll go for the third position. For drawing the third position, we need to understand here what has been given here. What they have given is the axis is appearing to be inclined to VP by 45 degrees. So that word appearing to be inclined, that you have to note here. That means that it is the apparent inclination of the axis. You can see in the previous example, we have found the apparent inclination here, that is beta is 60 degrees. That is directly here, they are given here, what is the inclination of the axis with XY line or with VP in the final top view. That directly they are given. So no need of finding the beta angle here. Directly rotate to that beta angle, whatever the beta angle they are given, that is 45 degrees. So I'll take a line tool now, thin line. Okay, I will draw a 45 degree line here from this XY line. I will draw a 45 degree, that is I can type minus 135. So that is a 45 degree line. You can measure this angle. You can see the angle is 45 degree here. So this is 45 degree, isn't it? All of you can see this, no? 45 degree, yes. Now to this 45, I have to rotate the axis here. The axis O1 is horizontal here. I have to make it here inclined at 45 degree. For that, I'll copy the second top view now. I'll hold down the control, that is the control key, and I'll select all these lines now, right? Or else I can just make a window like this. One thing will be selected, use move, create copy, have to turn on. So the point O, so this point O should lie on this XY, that is 45 degree line. Move to a place somewhere like that. So when you rotate, the whole thing will not go above XY line, right? Now we have to rotate. Use rotate now. Create copy is on. So you have to rotate in such a manner that so this line is inclined at 45 degree. I am rotating like this. It is inclined, right? Now it has been rotated, right? So all these text are slightly rotated now. We have to delete those text and you have to redraw them once again, right? I will delete all those text, right? I will type once again. Those text I can type once again, right? But you should remember the sequence, right? This you know, this is the point A1, this is the point B1, this point is C1, and this point is D1. Here it is the point A, this is the point B, this is the point C, and this is the point D. Similarly, the points O1 and O also you can delete and you can draw once again. So here is the point O1 and this point is O. We'll show that. Now we'll draw the vertical projectors upwards and get the final front view. So take the thin line, continuous line only, draw the vertical line from A1, like this one line I will draw, otherwise there will be a confusion. Then B1, like this vertical lines I will draw. Then P1, then D1. Right? First we'll mark this A1, B1, C1. Then we'll go for drawing the other lines. So here A1 dash here, A1 dash to A1. So it comes up to here, A1. Then B1 dash here, B1 dash to B1. I can draw horizontal line up to here. So not here. So that is C1. Yeah. So this is B1 dash up to B1. I will draw up to here. Then C1 dash, anyhow it is here only. Then D1 dash, here it is. Extra lines I will trim off. Use the trim tool. I will trim off these extra lines. So this is not required. I will delete it. So this A1, it is up to here, it is required. Yes. Now I will mark these points. So this is the A1 dash. Here is the B1 dash. This point is C1 dash. And this point is D1 dash. Now we'll mark the top surface. Go to the, again, thin line, continuous line. Draw the projector from A, like this you can draw. Then from B, like this. Then from C, like this. Then from D, like this. Then draw the horizontal line here from A dash and A. Here it is the point A dash. All right, you can show that it's not coming. Just extend this. Then from B dash. So this is B dash and B. Here it is extra. I will extend it, no problem. Then from C, here it is up to this one. Okay. Then from D, it's already there. Extra lines will trim off. So this is extra, will trim. So this point is A here. You can see this is the point A, right? And the point B is here. So this is the point B. The point C is here. This is the point C. The point D comes here. So this is the point D. Extra lines now we can clearly delete. So this is not required. These two lines are not required. So these lines I can delete, right? So I marked now A, B, C, D here. A1, B1, C1, D1. Yeah, I think this should be drawn with dashes, not just A, B, C, D. I'll just delete that. I'll draw it once again. All right. So this should be actually with dashes, not just A, B, C, D, because it is a front view. So I have to mark here A dash here. So this is B dash, and this one C dash, and this point is D dash. Here also extra line is there. You can trim that extra line. Right. Now I'll join all outer edges with a thick line. Take the thick line. Right. Join A dash to B dash, B dash to C dash here, C dash to outer edge, C1 dash, C1 dash to D1 dash, D1 dash to A1 dash, and A1 dash to A dash. Like this, outer edges initially you can join with a thick line. Now, as I told in the previous example, so we have to look at this final top view from the bottom. When you look at the final top view from the bottom, so A1, B1, C1, D1 is nearer to the observer, A, B, C, D is away from the observer. That means the bottom base is visible when you look from the bottom. So all the bottom base points you have to join with a thick line, right? So already we have joined. Only remaining is here A dash to A1 dash to B1 dash. So this is the B1 dash point. You have to join with a thick line, right? If B1 dash is visible, so B1 dash to B dash also will be visible as a thick line, right? So the remaining, it should be hidden line. So we'll take the hidden line now, right? So that means, so this one, top face, A dash to D dash, it is hidden. D dash to C dash, it is hidden. Then D dash to D1 dash, it is hidden, right? So those lines will be hidden lines. We have marked those lines as hidden lines like this. So this is your final front view. If you just click on fit, then you can see how it looks like. So it looks as a solid, isn't it? Right? You can see that. Any doubts regarding this problem? Any doubts you can ask? Kiran?
No, sir.
Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
What has been left in this problem, left out? Whether the problem is complete in all respects? Can you tell me something is left out in this problem? If you have to get full 100 out of 100, or say for example it is a 20 mark question, 20 out of 20 means you have to do one more thing. What is that?
So mark the measurement, sir.
Yeah, very good. Correct. You have to do the dimensioning. So do the dimensioning here. If you are not doing the dimensioning, you will not get full marks. So for getting the full marks, you have to do the dimensioning. So this inclination also you have to show here. What is the inclination of the axis with HP? They have mentioned here 40 degree. That 40 degree also you have to show. This 45 degree we have shown. Extra lines you can delete here. All other things we have marked here. So this completes the solution. Right? Any doubts? No doubts, no?
No, sir.
I think with this we will end today's class. Or shall I continue with one more problem?
I have another question, sir.
We are having another class. What about Pratyusha?
Yes, sir. Even I have, sir.
Okay, I will stop here then. Right? You practice these two problems. I have given the assignments in the Google Classroom also. Right? You can see that assignment and you have to submit within the due date. Right? Okay, with this I will end. Thank you. Thank you for joining for the class.
But